Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim and good evening. Today we will be discussing once again the confrontation which is going on between the government and the opposition political party PTI. Since the country is facing a threat of terrorism in two of our provinces, one is the KP and other is the Balochistan from Afghanistan. And on this issue, we have seen that the new chief minister of the KP, Mr. Suhail Afridi, time and again he has said that the operations, in fact, there is no such operations which we have seen in the past conducted by the security forces. Presently, only the intelligence-based operations are being conducted by the security forces. But even then, we have seen that there is a dissenting views of the provincial government, especially the new chief minister. And recently, we have seen, there was a word of war between the federal government as well as with the provincial government. So I have a very prominent guest with me, a former governor and former interior minister, Lt Gen retired Moinuddin Haider. Thank you very much, Jansa, for sparing your precious time. Please tell me that, Walaikum Assalam, the confrontation which is going on, political, confrontation, do you think that it is helpful for countering terrorism that Pakistan is facing for last many decades?
This is most unfortunate that this confrontation is going on. After all, the KP chief minister is an elected person, and he has been chosen and selected by the assembly to lead the province. But the war of words going on between federal government and provincial government is most disturbing for all Pakistanis, and sometimes very strong remarks are passed by the ministers against the chief minister. So the effort should be to bring him on board, to have a discussion with him, to have a dialogue with him, and to sit down and iron out if there are any differences between the two on the strategy of tackling with this terrorist. And I think a gesture of goodwill and the hand of reconciliation should be extended by the federal government, because the one who is more in power and the one who is elder is supposed to extend the hand of cooperation.
But recently, we have seen that the DGISPR has called the PTI leader as a security risk, and the party, the leadership is the way they are being, sending messages on the social media against the military leadership. So, how you see that in the present situation?
Yeah, first of all, any Pakistani passing remarks on the armed forces, on their conduct, or belittling them, or accusing them of making fake videos and making fake news is very deplorable and very sad. But at the same time, there has been history in Pakistani politics that most of our prime ministers have been called a security risk. Benazir Sahaba, may Allah bless her, Shaheed, she was also accused of being a security risk. So was Nawaz Sharif. So was, many other leaders of the country. So this is a sad tradition, and this is a bad tradition, that somebody who has been on a responsible position in the country and guardian of all our secrets about nuclear other things, and to blame him or tell him that he's mentally changed or tell him security risk, I think doesn't send a good message to the governments and to the people across the world.
So, how you see the situation that is cropping up? Do you think that if the provincial government starts protesting against the federal government, or the way they are saying that we are moving towards Islamabad and taking, until our demands are not being met by the federal government. So, what kind of a situation we are going to face if such, protests take place?
I hope that provincial governments understand that the path of confrontation or agitation or disruption of daily services by blocking roads or making people's life miserable is no answer to these problems. The answer is in dialogue, answer is in sitting down and letting your problems know. And we hope coming on the roads I don't think is a good response.
The federal government is announced, making statements. The federal ministers of governor rule in KP if the if the situation persists. Will it be advisable to impose a governor rule in KP in the present situation?
I don't think so. And law and order has not broken down, or the functioning of the KPK government has not come down to such a level that all walks of life are suffering and people are suffering because of this breakdown. I don't think this situation persists at this point of time. And Governor Root is an extreme step which should be avoided, and people should not get a feeling that one party whose now government is shrunk to only one province, and that province is also been taken from them. I think it may not send good message within KPK and to other adjoining provinces.
What kind of a responsibility the KP government have regarding the security of the province?
You said that we are going to concentrate on strengthening the police, give them new weapons, improve their training, and of strengthening their special branch for better intelligence, and improve governance, and concentrate on development, including development of the seven new districts merged from uh, FATA into KPK. He said we'll give special attention to them. So, I mean, this is the agenda that he rolled out in a public meeting, and I hope he is given his hands are strengthened to achieve this agenda to bring comfort to the people of KPK.
Since you remain the interior minister as well, and you know that the time when you were the interior minister, it was the Americans, naturally 9/11 took place, and followed by the American attack on Afghanistan, and then the Taliban then regime was removed. And you are also aware of all the developments that took place across the border between Afghanistan and Pakistan at that time. Do you think that the way the Taliban are behaving, openly supporting all the terrorist groups, including the TTP, which is bleeding Pakistan badly? So, what is your opinion about the Taliban regime's change of policy and change of mind towards Pakistan?
I mean, there have been ups and downs in the last 20, 30, 40 years between Afghanistan and Pakistan. Sometimes there is more cooperation and goodwill for Pakistanis in Afghanistan, and sometimes there are, of course, acquisitions, sometimes false acquisitions. At the same time, the world wants that there should be no terrorism emanating from the soil of Afghanistan for the adjoining countries or countries at large. So this is the request of the United Nations, and this is what the adjoining countries want, and this is what was decided in Doha. And this is the main theme being discussed between Afghanistan and Pakistan to launch attacks into Pakistan. But so far, they have given no written commitment. They are not ready to give a written commitment. And they say, yes, we will try, but they have not given a firm commitment either. And secondly, these attacks do continue. And the support is there for already existing agents and sleeping cells in Pakistan. And this time, when there is strict control on the border, such attacks are continuing, are persisting, which shows that they have enough weapons and they're provided intelligence from India and from Afghanistan to continue to act to indulge in acts of terrorism in Pakistan. So Pakistan is trying to tell them that we are neighbors, we are and if we keep our borders open and if you stop all this terrorism, there is a lot to gain from each other. We can concentrate on development. We can open the routes to Central Asia. And Pakistan keeps telling them that for last over a century from British era, the Karachi port is supplying you all your necessities in an uninterrupted manner. And so don't spoil this existing arrangement and don't buy the idea from Indians that, we can, from Chabahar, and we
Joseph,
can
do you think that the Indians have
supply you and we can take
they
your
have they have
exports.
they yeah? Do you think that the Taliban believe that they have
There,
a better they the Taliban believe that they have a better understanding with the Indians? They can benefit better manner from India than in Pakistan. Do you think that is the main reason that they have just gone back from Pakistan to the Indians?
you see, like most of the refugees who came to Pakistan or to Iran, none of the refugees went to India, but from their higher leadership, their leaders, some of them did go to India and stay there and develop relations with them. And India keeps giving them bait. And India has invested a lot of money in last 30, 40 years in their infrastructure, in the building of their parliament and other projects. And now it is telling them that they will make a dam for them on Kabul River, stopping Pakistan, the water coming to Pakistan, and that Afghanistan will have very cheap electricity and will can use this water for agriculture in their area. So such like baits are given to them, and I think Afghanis believe that possibly this will be done. So they think there is more benefit possibly coming from India, and that's why I think they're siding with them.
So, do you think that in the present circumstances there is a chance of normalizing relations between the two countries?
There is no other option. There is no other option. Our land borders to India are closed for a long time. No cross-border trade. With Iran, because of sanctions, there is no open trade freely. And now the last border, land border from Afghanistan is also closed, which is not a good thing for Pakistan. So our effort should be that we must have meaningful dialogue. We should not lose hope. We should persist. We should continue telling Afghans what is good for them and what is good for both countries. And our effort should be to bring peace and also to see that the gates of Chaman and Turkham are open, which will benefit them a great deal and also Pakistan.
But they are not ready to talk to Pakistan. Then how we can convince them?
I think they will become ready. How long will this closure of border they can tolerate? And alternative routes are very expensive. And to get their perishables like fruits and vegetables or dry fruit is not easy to use other routes which are very expensive. So they will realize that this is not a good option to leave Pakistan and to rely on other people's. lessons, but they're trying to tell them, showing them that we can supply you from an alternative Chabaha route.
One question I'll ask you about the city that you are living in Karachi. Uh, there are a lot of, problems related to the common people. Recently, we have seen a very unfortunate incident where a little child died because of the manhole incident. There are many manholes in Karachi which are not being covered, and naturally, it's a city which generates a lot of revenues of the country, but the roads are not good. The clean drinking water is not being provided to the city, and the political parties which are doing politics, the People's Party, MQM, and to some extent the Jamaat Islami, they accuse each other and putting responsibility on each other. So what is being a part of the city, what is your assessment of the situation? Who is actually responsible for all the mess which is being created in Karachi?
You're true. The citizens of Karachi are not happy with the state of infrastructure, roads, manholes, sewerage. They are very worried about short supply of water. Many people in defense and other areas only rely on buying very expensive water through tankers. And the K4 project, which is supposed to bring extra water to Karachi to provide some relief, is terribly behind schedule because of, there is some funding arrangement between federal government and they have to share with provincial government or whatever the reason. But the fact is, it is terribly behind schedule. And the reasons for all this, as you say, there is, uh, the local government is being shared between the People Party and Jamaat Islami and some PTI. The fact is that this huge city, whose population is more than many countries of the world, has no effective local government. The taxes which are collected are not given to the city, like the Building Control Authority. It was known as Karachi Building Control Authority, now Sindh Building Control Authority. The tax on vehicle registration doesn't come to Karachi city, it goes to provincial government. So there are property tax and others. So if the city cannot levy its own tax or the taxes being collected are not spent on the city, and there is no effective government to take care of all the problems of this huge city, about policing, about traffic, about education, about other things. So obviously the delivery is poor because of this reason. And I think politicians shy away from establishment of effective local governments. I think they think it is encroachment upon their provincial legislature
But
and
but the
federal
question, but the
legislature
but the
to
question
indulge.
is, but the question, I agree with you that there should be a strong local government system, but then we have other cities as well. Look at Lahore. Uh, Despite the fact that the population is much less than the Karachi, but still these cities are being developed over the period of time by the various governments minus local government system. There is a provincial government which is the People's Party since 2008, almost 18 years they are in the power. But unfortunately, the city is being ignored. What is the actual issue?
Actual issue, I think in Lahore, I'm quite sure that the funds being collected by Lahore Development Authority or the sewerage and other people, the other thing, is being used, and that budget is available to the citizen. And secondly, Noon League is quite is, they want to develop. They are fond of developing infrastructure and doing things. And normally, it has been one government there and not fragmentation of government. So that is one reason that they have a strong government to continue these projects.
So how you what you suggest to the I mean the Sindh government regarding Karachi? They have a
Yes,
mayor as well.
they have a mayor. They have to carry everybody along. They have to, I said, they have to uh, give resources. They have to give resources which belong to the city back to them. They are supposed to supplement it with provincial grants. And of course, since it's a revenue earner for the whole country, the federal government should also chip in money, like during General Pervez Musharraf days, to develop this city so that it continues to support Pakistan in a very big way.
Do you think that the present political dispensation, which is going on either in the center or the provinces, uh, with the given situation between the PTI and the PMLN or the federal government, do you think that this government is going to continue working like this, or there could be a political mess or destabilization in the future if the things are not being addressed properly?
I hope not. I hope not. I pray not. It doesn't happen. But the fact is that confrontation at federal level will not do good to anybody, not to Pakistan at all. So we must live and let live. We must give people their due. We must follow the process of profess of law. We should follow the process of law and merit, and no confrontation and no targeting people unnecessarily, and not creating every time, situations in which people confront each other. So I think they have to find a way to cool down the temperature and to allow the government to work also. And the government should also give a soothing hand, a helping hand to bring down this political temperature in the country. So things then that we can possibly complete the tenures of the government, and we can hope that there will be elections on due date, and elections will be fair, and people will accept their results, and a more stable government will be coming to lead Pakistan.
Imran Khan's approach, still, mm, he seems to be naturally a hardliner. Do you think that his approach will resolve the issues, or uh, it will create a more problem? Because his parliamentary party do talk to the government, but then the direction comes from the Imran Khan. They are naturally, he has a different opinion about the present setup and all that.
He may have different opinion, but that is a fact of life. This is de facto situation in which a government is running the country. You should accept this fact. And secondly, in politics, you should be having very rigid approach. There's always give and take. There's always dialogue. You have to give something to gain something. So that should be the policy of reconciliation rather than confrontation.
Finally, please, this chief of defense forces is being has started functioning from yesterday, and army chief, the field marshal, has taken over. So, how you see? Do you think that the present challenges, especially from the defense point of view and strategic point of view, this is going to be a positive step towards um, creating more close coordination among the forces to counter any threat, including coming from India?
Yes, in many countries of the world, this position of chief of defense forces exists. In most of the countries of Europe, in America, in Turkey, and elsewhere, where there is one head on the three forces which coordinates their actions in the case of procurement of weapons, synchronization, training, joint operation plans, and all these things are coordinated at that level. Previously, J headquarters was responsible to carry out this responsibility, so they did to some extent uh, work on joint plans for war and also some plans for uh, training, but it had no executive power. So this CDS is a executive post with all the effectiveness to implement these things, but it will take a few months before the secretariat comes on ground, before it becomes effective, before it starts leading and giving decisions to synchronize the power of the three forces for a combined punch against any enemy.
Thank you very much, General Moin Haider, former governor, former interior minister. Thank you for your precious time. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.